Now, that's fine. Hello, everyone. My name is Jack Chennels, and I'm team lead for the LegalFundi challenge, and here to run you through our solution. So as a brief overview, LegalFundi is an automation company delivering legal solutions via bots and using AI to match users with vetted networks. The LegalFundi app helps the user understand what law applies to their scenario, providing them with a simple, explained walkthrough and access to legal and alternative support. We designed with affordability, with accessibility, and understanding in mind. Everything we do works through from query to understanding, and ultimately from understanding to submission. So in a short version of it, a user would enter the solution, they'd understand their scenario, they'd be able to walk through process maps delivered with user input as well as base queries. From there, we support them in filling in any documentation, allowing them to access any form of remediation which they may deem necessary, and ultimately finding them a remedy pathway and what we deem warm body support. Our question revolved around how to facilitate the access and use of the LegalFundi tool by the Ugandan nationals and migrant workers who are victims of forced labor in Uganda. This came with 3 requirements, allowing for easy access with low data, walking through correct and nuanced legal processes, and ultimately finding the correct support. This was our team that we had working on the hackathon today. Ultimately, the timing of it wasn't given too much, and I obviously didn't get the time of that. But in going into the problem here, we attempted to go down to the base level of what we were trying to work on. And this involved a lot of problem mapping, and it involved recognizing that we weren't able to support all the sectors at once, and that ultimately we needed to focus and hone down the sector and work within that space. This problem mapping allowed us to understand the nuanced problems with the various sectors we're facing, and to use that then as a means to understanding the root problem with a nuanced breakdown of the problems faced by their sectors. And we defined these problems, whether they were human problems, whether they were structural problems, or if they were accessibility concerns. After walking through a number, we thought to focus on where we could most easily apply the technology within the pilot phase. And our focus then became on domestic workers and those within the hospitality sectors. Moving on from there, the breakdown was then became about focusing on the areas which we chose to focus on. And we chose content adaptation, highlighting partners for distribution, and highlighting partners who we could utilize as part of a trust building process for use, ultimately, and uptake, which have become the driving factors behind the platform success. So we broke down the stakeholders into various groups. We had a huge mind map around this, and ultimately it came through at the various sectors that we needed to target. In totality, it came to about 43 target contracts, ranging from civil society groups and government agencies to legal support agencies and trade unions, migration experts, and finally into telecommunications agencies. Here's a short mock-up that we pulled together for the process. And yeah, we believe that our objective in coming into this process was to highlight the mechanisms through which we could get our tool into market quickest, and to be able to support those where we weren't necessarily having to find alternative mechanisms to reach in, but where a lot of the problems were already faced. So I thank you. I think that is under my 3 minutes, and yeah.
Thank you.